Bron Breakker helps Brock Lesnar at WWE Wrestlepalooza. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman WarGames tease. Congratulations to Alexa Bliss. Andrade's first match after leaving WWE announced. An unfortunate update on Shayna Baszler following her WWE return. Triple H shares exclusive details about Wrestlepalooza. R-Truth's injury update following Brock Lesnar's attack. Is Corey Graves leaving WWE? Why John Cena did not save Michael Cole and Corey Graves from Brock Lesnar. Vince McMahon's appearance concerns dismissed. Let's dive right in. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman WarGames tease. The latest SmackDown wrapped up with Drew McIntyre getting the upper hand on Cody Rhodes. The show kicked off with Brock Lesnar's rampage, taking out Corey Graves with a string of F5s. Beyond that, key moments unfolded that point to bigger things. Here are 5 subtle signals WWE slipped in on the blue brand leading into Wrestlepalooza. Number 1, Drew McIntyre might lose at WWE Wrestlepalooza. Drew McIntyre coming out on top against the American Nightmare in the go-home SmackDown often means he's headed for a defeat at the Premium Live event. Stars who build heat in the final show before the big night usually fall short in the match itself. So with Drew holding the edge, it looks like WWE is setting up Cody Rhodes to keep his title at Wrestlepalooza. Number 2, Corey Graves was written off television. Brock Lesnar owned the SmackDown opener by jumping Corey Graves and trash-talking Michael Cole. The Beast didn't hold back, slamming Graves with several F5s, which quietly signals WWE is pulling the commentator from TV. Plenty think this could tease Corey's return to the ring since he took some heavy bumps after years away from them. WWE hasn't given any health update on Corey Graves yet, but expect him off screens for a few weeks after the beating. Number 3, Street Profits breaking up. Tensions keep rising between the Street Profits on SmackDown. In the recent episode, B-Fab tried to smooth things over between Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, but then Bo Dallas showed up backstage, messing with Dawkins' head. When Montez spotted the Wyatt Six leader in the act, Eric Rowan charged in and laid out the Profits. This ongoing hint of their split quietly confirms WWE will break them up as a team before long. Number 4, Tiffany Stratton is not cleared for the upcoming PLE. Tiffany Stratton defends her women's championship next week on SmackDown against Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. Nick Aldis made the match official on the blue brand. Skipping the bout from the Wrestlepalooza lineup hints that Tiffy isn't cleared for the Premium Live event. Last week, Stratton had a scary slip ringside during a moonsault attempt. Reports said she wasn't medically okay after SmackDown. So, with the National Treasure locking in the match for next week, it backs up those injury rumors. Number 5, Brock Lesnar Paul Heyman WarGames tease. After the chaos on SmackDown, Brock Lesnar got into a tense backstage talk with Paul Heyman. The Beast pushed to chat with the Oracle, and the Vision member went along with it. Dropping Heyman and Lesnar together like that could build to a larger fight, and WWE might eye Survivor Series WarGames. The mayor of Suplex City could link with the Vision, and this exchange might plant the early roots for that team-up. Congratulations to Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss stormed back to WWE this year at the Royal Rumble and has since snagged one half of the Women's Tag Team Championships alongside Charlotte Flair. Big cheers are due for Little Miss Bliss as September 20th celebrates her 12 years in WWE. The former women's champion first stepped out at a WWE Performance Center event in 2013, revealing her Alexa Bliss name for the first time. The next year, she hit NXT with a fairy gimmick. After a break from an injury, Bliss came back, teamed up with Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy, turned bad, and unleashed her villain side. She jumped to the main roster the next year, quickly shining as one of SmackDown's top stars. Since her comeback, Bliss has been tangled in some wild SmackDown stories. Many thought she'd join Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six, but that hasn't happened yet. Instead, WWE paired her with Charlotte Flair after a foes to friends tale led them to the Women's Tag Team Championships. Flair got sidelined a few weeks back on SmackDown and missed last week's show for WWE's WrestleMania announcement in Las Vegas. This week, she and Bliss must defend their titles against Chelsea Green and her Secret Hervis crew. It'll be worth watching if Bliss and Flair's story grows, turning them into true pals, or if Green and her squad steal the belts. Andrade's first match after leaving WWE announced. Andrade's quick exit from WWE this September caught everyone off guard, hitting like a surprise twist. Now, his first fight since leaving WWE is locked in. Rumors flew about why El Idolo walked away from the sports giant, and word is a wellness policy slip during his last stint played a part. He was even lined up to challenge the Wyatt Six for the WWE Tag Team titles at Clash in Paris with his partner Rey Fenix, but that fell apart when he went radio silent for a bit. Now, he's heading back to his roots in Mexico for his post-WWE debut at the Crash Lucha Libre in Tijuana on October 3rd. This points to WWE pulling the plug after their recent headaches with him. Luckily, he kept it classy, thanking the company on social media. A far cry from his messy first goodbye. What's next for El Idolo stays anyone's guess, but it looks like he's set for another chapter in Mexico. That's where he first blew up and became a true standout. Sadly, he never hit the heights WWE dreamed of when he exploded onto the scene in 2016. No doubt, Andrade's a standout talent, and here's hoping he shakes things up before storming back into the big leagues of wrestling. We root for him in whatever path he carves next. An unfortunate update on Shayna Baszler following her WWE return. Former WWE star Shayna Baszler came back to the company this past week, popping up on NXT's Homecoming special on Tuesday. This marked her first time there since the release a few months back. Baszler joined a backstage chat with Sol Ruca and Zarya on NXT. The Queen of Spades pushed the two to sort out their problems. This sparked talk about whether she's sticking around for good. Wrestling insider Dave Meltzer cleared things up in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. He said Shayna Baszler's NXT spot was a one-time deal. She won't be back as a wrestler, but folks hope she'll grab a coaching or producing gig. Nothing's set yet, though. Baszler did work as a producer on NXT right after her release. Company insider saw it as a test run for the job. We'll have to wait and see if the Queen of Spades lands a backstage role, since she's still active in the ring elsewhere. When Shayna Baszler moved up to WWE's main roster, excitement ran high. She'd held the NXT Women's Championship for over 500 days, so the hype was real. But after she breezed through the 2020 Elimination Chamber match, Baszler couldn't beat Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 36. She never bounced back from that blow. The ex-MMA fighter then got a few shaky pushes, like tag team runs with Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. In Rousey's last WWE match, Shayna Baszler even stepped up against her. Sadly, it didn't spark anything big. She later teamed with Sonya Deville and Zoe Stark in Pure Fusion Collective before WWE cut her in May 2025. It was a rough close to what started as a bright shot at the top of the women's division. Triple H shares exclusive details about Wrestlepalooza. WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H just dropped some inside info on how Wrestlepalooza came together. The big wrestling company and ESPN are launching their TV partnership with the premium live event. On August 20th, World Wrestling Entertainment brought back Wrestlepalooza after 20 years away. The name was once used by ECW from 1995 to 2005, but the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, hosts the first one under the Global Giants flag on September 30th. Triple H talked about Wrestlepalooza at TED Sports Indianapolis. The game said ESPN wanted to start their team up with a fresh event. On September 20th here, we're going to do Wrestlepalooza. It's a new event for us. It's the first event that will take place on ESPN on their app. Huge, massive event for us. ESPN, as we were working into this partnership with them, said, "We'd love to have an initial first-run event that would be epic," Triple H said. Triple H explained ESPN picked a date, and WWE chose Indianapolis as the spot. He noted it all moved fast. They gave us a date. We looked at where we could run it. Indy came up. We were like, perfect. They're the perfect host city for this first massive event for us. We come in and do it. That all happened in a very, very short window of time. So a period of time where we had a PLE and another PLE 6 weeks apart. All of a sudden, there's one in the middle, and it's got to be bigger than everything else because it's the launch point, right? Triple H added. With the final Friday night SmackDown before Wrestlepalooza, the premium live event lines up 2 title fights. Drew McIntyre challenges Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship, while Stephanie Baker and Sky battle for the empty Women's World Championship. CM Punk teams with AJ Lee to face Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch in a mixed tag team match. The Usos take on Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker too, but John Cena versus Brock Lesnar tops the card. The Cenation leader hunts his 100th premium live event win. Will John Cena grab his 100th PLE victory at Wrestlepalooza? Hit the discuss button and sound off. R-Truth's injury update following Brock Lesnar's attack. Brock Lesnar has torn through WWE SmackDown lately, ever since John Cena's last time on the blue brand. Before Lesnar crushed Corey Graves this week, he put R-Truth in his place last time. The former champ walked up to Lesnar, saying he was John Cena's brother, Ron Cena. Lesnar just laughed, then hit him with an F5 that looked bad. Truth still showed up on SmackDown this week, even after the hit, but he was hurting and had a neck brace on. Truth stuck around to tell WWE fans how to watch Wrestlepalooza on ESPN tomorrow night, since it's the first big premium live event of WWE's new era. Wrestlepalooza shapes up as a huge night for WWE as they launch the ESPN days. It starts strong, with Brock Lesnar and John Cena opening the action. The tale between these two has defined much of their careers, but tomorrow night marks the last time they face off across the ring. Lesnar fired a warning to Cena after taking out Corey Graves tonight, saying tomorrow is D-Day, and there will be blood. Cena hasn't hit SmackDown in 2 weeks, after his final spot on the blue brand earlier this month against Sami Zayn for the United States Championship. Cena has just a handful of matches left on his retirement tour, and it seems WWE kept him out of the build-up to this fight on SmackDown, letting Lesnar unleash the beast instead. Is Corey Graves leaving WWE? Corey Graves took a brutal beating on the final SmackDown before Wrestlepalooza. Brock Lesnar unleashed his fury, blasting Graves with 2 crushing F5s. Since then, fans have been buzzing with guesses, wondering if this means Graves is leaving WWE. but that's not true. Corey Graves isn't going anywhere. The 41-year-old has a multi-year deal with the Stamford Company. The SmackDown attack was just a story to pump up Brock Lesnar's match with John Cena at WrestlePalooza. It played up the Beast Incarnate's wild anger, setting the stage for his big clash with Cena. The two legends will face off one last time this weekend to close their epic rivalry. With the Cenation leader missing from SmackDown, WWE needed a way to add heat to the feud. So using Corey Graves was a plot move, not a hint he's out the door. WWE might have thrown him into that angle to give him a well-earned breather. The company often uses storylines like this to let stars and personalities take a break to rest up. Corey Graves stepped away from wrestling in 2014 after concussion troubles. He hasn't fought since. The 41-year-old has been a seasoned voice on WWE shows instead. But what happened on SmackDown turned heads as he took big hits for the first time in years. Fightful says Graves is cleared to wrestle again. Taking 2 huge F5s from Brock Lesnar backs that up. WWE's strict concussion rules don't let anyone take even small bumps without medical okay. It seems Corey Graves finally got the all clear after 10 years out. There's a real shot he could return to the ring. While WWE likely won't use him full-time, the 41-year-old might pop up for a match here and there. It'll be exciting to see what's next for Graves now that he's cleared to wrestle. For now, expect him to take a short break, putting his WWE duties on hold. Why John Cena did not save Michael Cole and Corey Graves from Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar laid waste to Michael Cole and Corey Graves on WWE SmackDown tonight, but John Cena was missing in action. With Cena now a good guy, fans thought he'd charge out to stop his WrestlePalooza rival from attacking the commentators. On SmackDown, Cole was set to interview Lesnar, but before he could head backstage, the former Universal Champion cut him off on the ramp. Lesnar scooped up Cole like he was nothing and hauled him to the ring. He looked ready to crush him, but Corey Graves stepped in. Lesnar wasn't having it, and blasted Graves with several F5s, leaving Cole struggling to breathe. Graves had to be helped backstage and was replaced as a commentator on SmackDown. But John Cena, Lesnar's opponent tomorrow, was nowhere around. Lesnar even called out Cena, taunting him to show up, but the star stayed gone. The reason Cena didn't save the commentators is simple. He wasn't there. Cena had his final SmackDown match not long ago, facing Sami Zayn in a sudden bout. He won't step foot on SmackDown again until he retires. Cena's absence meant he couldn't help, even if he wanted to, but he'll carry that weight into his fight with Lesnar. It's another reason for him to come out on top. Fans have watched John Cena wrap up his WWE career all year. Now, it's almost over. After his WrestlePalooza clash with Brock Lesnar, Cena likely has just one big match left, though fans hope for more. With only a few dates remaining, his run is winding down. Meanwhile, Brock Lesnar has dropped hints about his next move. He might be chasing a major title, and a current champ could be caught off guard. A betrayal might be brewing. Bron Breakker helps Brock Lesnar at WWE Wrestlepalooza. Brock Lesnar stole the spotlight on the last SmackDown before WrestlePalooza. The Beast Incarnate wrecked Corey Graves with an F5 and mocked Michael Cole to start the night. Later, in a tense backstage moment, Lesnar and Paul Heyman locked eyes, with the mayor of Suplex City saying he wanted to chat with his old advocate again. Here are 3 possible reasons the Beast craves a talk with the Oracle. One big reason the Beast might want words with the Wiseman is his push to team up with Heyman once more. It's been ages since Lesnar and Heyman ran together in the Stamford Company. Before linking with Roman Reigns in the pandemic days, Paul guided the Beast Incarnate in WWE. Then, he stabbed Lesnar in the back and walked away. Now, that SmackDown exchange suggests Brock eyes a comeback together, which is why he seeks the Oracle of the Vision. Brock Lesnar jumped the commentators on the blue brand, and Nick Aldis surely hates the Beast's wild ways. As payback, Lesnar could face heat from the SmackDown general manager. But to dodge that trouble, the mayor of Suplex City might need the Wiseman's pull. That's why he reached out to the former special counsel, hoping to skip Nick Aldis's punishment. Brock Lesnar takes on John Cena in the WrestlePalooza opener. The franchise player is already hot on his retirement tour. Because of that fire, the Beast might call on the Vision for backup at the coming Premium Live event. This could explain why Brock Lesnar wants time with Paul Heyman and dropped a reunion hint on recent SmackDown. If the Vision crew helps Lesnar beat Cena at WrestlePalooza, the Beast could pay it back soon. All told, WWE has planted clues for Brock Lesnar and Heyman's reunion. It'll be wild to watch how the plot twists during and after the Indianapolis event. A former WWE star, Parker Boudreaux, recently opened up about hanging out with Bron Breakker. The 27-year-old is one of the company's breakout hits this year. Breakker joined Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins after WrestleMania. Since then, he and Bronson Reed have made the Vision the toughest group on the Red brand. The star has become Seth Rollins' go-to guy and knocked down anyone who challenged Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. In an exclusive chat with Sportskeeda, Parker Boudreaux said he and Breakker are tight. The star remembered some fun times with Bron. He said they hadn't linked up in a bit but stayed close pals. Parker noted that Breakker is a riot off-screen, and he loved being around the star. This is tough. I would probably say Bron. Bron Breakker, man, I haven't seen him in a while, but we spent a lot of good times together. We had a lot of great memories together. He's hilarious. I would say Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed have been locked in a long fight with some of WWE's top good guys like CM Punk, Roman Reigns, LA Knight, Jimmy Uso, and Jey Uso. In fact, the Vision took on Knight and Jimmy in a tag team match this week, which they won. The two Vision members now gear up for a massive tag team clash against the Usos at WrestlePalooza this Saturday. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce booked the match after Jimmy and Jey pushed to settle scores with Breakker and Reed. With bad blood heating up between Jey Uso and LA Knight, it'll be a thrill to see if the good guys can drop the Vision. Vince McMahon's appearance concerns dismissed. Sergeant Slaughter joined Vince McMahon's 85th birthday celebration in August. In an exclusive chat with Sportskeeda Wrestling senior editor Bill Apter, the former WWE champion shared his take on the two-night party. McMahon stepped down from his role on WWE's parent company, TKO, board in 2024 after misconduct claims. The former WWE chairman has kept a low profile since leaving. In August, his appearance in a TMZ sports documentary about Hulk Hogan led commentator Jim Ross to say he looked horrible, but Slaughter had nothing but good things to say about how McMahon looked at 80. As I started walking toward Mark Calloway the Undertaker, I see Shane McMahon, so I start talking to Shane and his boys. And then I look over his shoulder. Here comes Vince, and he looked great. He had a full head of hair, some of it was gray, and some was a little darker, and he kept coming toward me. Every time he got closer to me, somebody else would interrupt him and get in between us. I said, I'll just talk to him later. Back in the 1980s and 1990s, Sergeant Slaughter was a wrestling superstar known worldwide. Now 77, the Hall of Famer retired over a decade ago with no plans to wrestle again. Slaughter shared that Vince McMahon playfully nudged him to consider a ring comeback. Finally, after he got done with everybody, I snuck up and said happy birthday to him and thanked him for inviting me. He was just so happy to see me, gave me a big hug, and he said, Sarge, you look great. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to get back into the ring? I said, well, I'm not sure about that, but I'm feeling good. Anyway, we talked for quite a while, and then he went off and was talking to some other people. Slaughter's last WWE match aired on the December 31st, 2012 episode of Raw, where he fell short against Cesaro for the United States Championship. Jelly Roll was among the performers at Vince McMahon's 85th birthday party in August. Sergeant Slaughter, a guest at the two-night bash, loved watching the 40-year-old's heartfelt performance. Lately, Jelly Roll has popped up often on WWE TV. The lifelong wrestling fan even wrestled at SummerSlam, teaming with Randy Orton in a losing effort against Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. In his exclusive talk with Sportskeeda Wrestling senior editor Bill Apter, Slaughter said Jelly Roll got emotional while performing for the crowd. A curtain opened up, and there was Jelly Roll, his whole band, and he played for about an hour and a half. Slaughter said. He was like a little kid and he kept saying, thank you for inviting me, and he threw out a bunch of names of the wrestlers that were there that he grew up watching. He said, Vince McMahon and all these wrestlers are the reason I'm on the stage because you taught me how to tell a story singing my songs, and started weeping a bit. He was so happy to be there performing. Sergeant Slaughter added that Stephanie McMahon and Triple H's youngest daughter performed for the guests to celebrate her and Vince McMahon's birthdays. They took another break, and Vince got up and thanked everybody for being there, and he brought his family up and he said, I got to thinking, yeah, this is my birthday, but it's also somebody else's birthday. And he introduced his youngest granddaughter, who is a singer, and it was her birthday too on the 24th, so he had her sing happy birthday to everybody for all of us. So we all joined in and sang happy birthday.